Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Crusader Kings 2 Conclave as Scotland. In our last episode we helped out our allies down in Sicily against their host invasion, and now we're allied with them in another war against the Kaiser himself. But this one I am much less inclined to actually help him out in, and in fact I'm going to try to avoid getting involved at all. It's only over a single county up here, so I don't feel too bad about it. We'll just let him lose that. And in fact, he actually has the Byzantines on his side as well, so it's not like we're leaving him completely defenseless. Meanwhile, we're taking care of some of our own stuff down here in Iberia. There were a couple of holdings down here that we'd like to take. We've taken one of them, and we'll probably just go ahead and take the other right now. The council was too skittish to allow us to declare both at the same time, which is kind of annoying. But they don't mind us declaring this one right now, so we'll go ahead and do it. After this, we'll probably look at declaring a bit more of a substantial war against somebody. Maybe we'll actually start expanding down this way. Our vassal king already took a single county in this duchy, so we can declare a war for the remaining four, maybe. Or else we could attack somebody over here next door to Jerusalem, since we have the ability to declare holy wars over there as well. We'll see. We might have some interesting weak claims or something we could press. But for now, we'll just take care of this single subholding, which shouldn't be too difficult. Also, there's the possibility that we'll be able to kill the King of England at some point and be able to declare war on them again. Doesn't seem too likely, though. And we had a son, Lennon Dunbar. No distinguishing traits. Hasn't inherited strong from his mother. But that's okay, just having more dynasty members around can only be a good thing when it comes to having choices for the people to vote for. So, just a single siege here will give us the immediate victory. And our grandson died after a period of illness. Okay. Well, he wasn't of our dynasty anyway, so I guess we don't care too much. Alright, we won our siege. We can enforce demands. And now we have all of these counties properly under our control. These did go... they went to the Earl. Okay, that's fine. As long as we didn't end up with anybody as our direct vassal who shouldn't be, that's fine. So I think we will probably just go ahead and declare on the Abbadids here. Take this duchy, and then we'll be able to take perhaps Granada next. I don't know if we'll be able to eventually form the Kingdom of Andalusia. There used to be a cultural restriction on this. I think you had to be, or maybe religious, or you had to be a Muslim ruler or something, but we might be able to do it at some point. But looking at the territory here, a lot of it's already held by Aquitaine, so unless we take it from them, it seems unlikely we're going to get 51%. That's fine though. As it is, we can always just give it to our existing king down here in Galicia if we want to. Council votes unanimously in favor. Alright, let's do it. I guess we should have checked his allies, since we're now fighting this Sultan as well, but he isn't somebody that we really have to worry about, it looks like. So we'll raise Galicia's army down here. I guess we'll actually not raise anything from Ireland, apparently. They still have their internal war going on. Maybe we'll just not raise anything from them for the moment. And let's raise all of our domain troops as well. Alright, you're our retinue, of course. You just come up here with our domain and we'll pick you up later. Alright, I suspect that's probably going to be enough troops once we bring down the domain forces. Let's raise some more boats from nearby. And we need to appoint a new commander. I thought you already were a commander, but that's okay. I think he somehow got unappointed after inheriting that barony just there. I don't fully understand why, but I guess it's not a big deal. Alright, let's go ahead and march on the Abadid army. Again, we need to reappoint a commander. And again, no great candidates to choose from. And I didn't even appoint commanders to this army in time, which is unfortunate, but I think we're going to win anyway. My Chancellor, the King of Galicia, suggests that it would be of benefit to the realm if I studied the languages spoken at foreign courts. He also offers himself to aid me in my studies. We could say it's an excellent idea and owe him a favour. Or if they can't speak Scottish, they are not important. And we can maybe become shy or proud. Okay, I guess we'll owe him a favour. What's the worst thing he could do with that? Guess we'll find out. Alright, so we'll march in here and start sieging. And we'll just have you guys go and reinforce this army. Norway is down here helping us out as well. Which is probably not necessary, but it is appreciated. It looks like the Abadid army has actually engaged Norway's troops there, so we'll reinforce and help them out, I think. That's going to be more than enough. Disband our boats for the moment so we don't have to pay for them. And we'll head in here, I think, and get some more sieges going. Let's have a look over at the Mongol invasion that apparently is still going on. They were up to 84% before, 85%, so still making slow progress there. Meanwhile, our allies in Sicily have lost their target county. It's fully occupied by the Kaiser, so they'll be losing ticking war score. And the Empire's army is wandering through here and towards Sicily, probably. Distractions seem to overwhelm you during your studies. The simplest pleasures and even plain and mundane chores seem like time better spent than drowning in books all evening. How does one manage to keep focused when everything else is so much more appealing? If I learn even a few phrases, it will be worth it. So there's 15% chance we become diligent, but a greater chance that we become stressed. And we're already diligent, so definitely no reason to risk that. Or we can say that I guess learning languages is not for everyone. Have a chance of becoming slothful, which actually would be very bad as well, since we would lose diligent. Language studies abandoned, and our King of Galicia's opinion of us goes down. I think we'll take this risk, though. Okay. So we managed to keep diligent. So our enemies' armies seem to be wandering around somewhere. I don't know where this one's heading. This one is apparently just going to stay here. As he's growing older, I can see that my grandson Alistair could use some guidance in some of my experience areas. It will require hard work and may not always be appreciated, but this is my chance to make a self-sacrifice for his sake. So we could become stressed to make him diligent, become out of patience to make him patient, or become bitter rivals to make him ambitious. I think we can handle being out of patience to make him patient. It seems okay. We can take a fairly minor stat penalty for a while here. Some person has died comatose in bed. And we won our first siege, getting us up to 16%. And our wife is pregnant again, so still getting it done at the age of 66 here. Outlived our spymaster, Conan of Strathclyde, who died at the age of 60. We need to appoint a new spymaster. We could appoint our heir. Fortunately, King Paul of Jerusalem would be terrible at the job, as would our Duke of Moray. King of Wales, even worse. I think if they're not causing us problems, and we do have absolutely no factions, so they're not, we'll just appoint somebody who would be actually good at the job instead. I guess King John. Or Tanist John. And I suppose we'll have him go and study technology in Constantinople. It's a little bit of a risky thing to do with our heir, since it could end up being blinded, or worse. But I think there's a relatively low chance of that happening. Also, if he did end up getting blinded, I think people would be less likely to vote for him as heir, and we might get a different heir. I'm not sure though. I guess we'll find out if it happens. Princess Edna needs a childhood focus. Go for thrift, I guess. The Almoravid Sultanate has been called into this war against us. They've got 7,000 troops, so that's a bit more than the previous forces we were facing. That's you down here, I guess. So we'll be on the lookout for their army, but I think we already have enough troops in the area to deal with them. They do appear. You seek to kill somebody, that's fine. This guy seeks to fabricate a claim on the Duchy of Portugal. I don't think that's our problem, it's our King of Galicia's problem. You really should do something about this guy, actually. But we won another siege, and our grandson Gillespie, who is willful, brooding, and rowdy, needs an education focus. Well, willful and rowdy make for a good martial education, so we'll choose that for him. And we had a son, Angus Dunbar. He did not manage to inherit the strong trait from his wife, not his wife, from our wife, his mother. But that's okay. Our Duchess of Lothian has founded the increased council power faction. But it's under 10%, so I don't think we need to worry about that. Speaking of council power, we could probably look at trying to take some power back from the council. It looks like we have no support for kind of thing right now. Or any other law change. I guess we could potentially get religious title revocation, but that's not probably going to be much use to us. We could buy favors to try and get something through, maybe. We do have a lot of money. Maybe we'll look at doing that after this war is done. As I enter my chambers, all of the work I had done in my spare time seems to be cleaned up and put back. Books are neatly set in alphabetical order and notes have been thrown away. Our grandson was apparently cleaning earlier. We can mess up his chambers and he might gain conscientious, or cleaning is not my virtue. I guess we'll have him be conscientious. He's quietly cleaning his chambers after my episode in there. Seems like this is a very thorough child. Okay, so he dislikes us because of it, but he gets +1 stewardship. And maybe diligent or temperate. And I guess I wasn't keeping as close an eye as I should have been for the army from the Almoravids, since they have just attacked us. Alright, well we have just finished a siege over here, so we can reinforce this without giving up any progress. Hopefully we'll get there in time. We'll bring along our best commanders. Though we might not have the best chance of holding out for the reinforcements to get there. Might have been better for us to wait instead of just rushing in there. And in fact, at this point, we might want to commit the rest of our troops too. Even though we are giving up siege progress here. In fact, we probably should have done that earlier. Yeah, it looks like we're going to lose this battle and not even get there in time. So let's see if we can retreat here with as many people as possible. Alright, some of our troops are headed up to Badajoz. Which is fine. Once they get there, we can regroup them with this army. So then we're at almost full morale. We'll wait a little while here finish this siege, and then we should be able to get in and have a much better battle against this army than we did before. Still ended up a lot closer than I would have expected, but we are going to win. Guess we crossed a river? Alright, so we're up to 84%. And I guess we'll siege in this county with our whole force. That way this army shouldn't be able to come back across the strait. I guess they can come around by boat if they want to. Young Alistair has finished his education in diplomacy. It's evident that he has excelled in his studies, so he's a charismatic negotiator. Good for him. He's easily satisfied and obviously lacking in ambition, though, so we can try to make him charitable or make him content. I think we'll go for charitable. Still not an amazing character. We can get him married to somebody, though. We could go for a non-aggression pact with somebody, like the Holy Roman Empire. Or we could look for somebody with good genetic traits. Which is, I think, what we'll do. Alright, they're married. So I think we'll leave this episode here. We should be able to finish this war pretty quickly in the next one. Thanks for watching, and join me again then.